As a student of history, I have 2 degrees in history, and I did not know about the atrocities of residential schools from our public education system.
What did you learn about BC's residential schools when you were in grade school? Calls for more education on the subject have been amplified after the devastating discovery of the bodies of 215 children at a former residential school in Kamloops.
We have some really passionate teachers or teachers that do know or have been doing this work already.
BC teachers Rick Joe and Peggy Janicki say the amount of Indigenous curriculum in our province's schools has significantly increased in the last decade. But the issue they're seeing is supporting educators to make sure the work is being done properly.
With the new curriculum coming out, there was no time and no funding attached to indigenizing the curriculum. Like the new curriculum has every grade and every subject you have to teach about Indigenous people or Aboriginal people. But the government didn't provide any time for teachers to take that time, meaningful time, to learn.
Dr. Amy Parent, an assistant professor in UBC's Educational Studies Department, says she's extremely concerned with the lack of accountability in schools to provide the required education on Indigenous peoples.
We're actually not showing how we're being accountable or having strong measures in place, and really how are we making change. And I think the larger conversation is recognizing the interconnected effects of systemic racism that continues.
Terry Mooring with the BC Teachers Federation says hiring more Indigenous teachers has also been a major priority as they continue to educate BC's youth.
And what we hear from families quite often that are non-Indigenous families is that the first time they've heard of it is when their children come home and talk to them about it because they've learned it in school.
For Jackney, she says she can see her colleagues trying to educate their students in a compassionate way. But the issue is that the teachers need more preparation time to do justice to the topic.
It's really about the workload of teachers, giving them the proper prep time, giving them, enough Pro-D time and the space, because this is really heavy work. It's heavy genocidal work, and everybody will need time. They'll need time.
In Vancouver, Ashley Burr, City News.